Good evening, everybody. Can we please make a start? It's just gone 7, I think. You can see I'm in the chair tonight. Councillor Clifford is absent tonight. So, if we can please carry on with the agenda and the finance. Right, have we any apologies for absence, please?
Thank you, Chairman. I have apologies from Councillor Mrs Denison, Councillor Brendan Hughes, Councillor Clifford, Councillor Bates, and Councillor Vicky Boyd-Power.
Councillor Alex Ash.
Thank you. Anybody else that we missed? No? Liam? Sorry? Liam. Right, thank you. On to declaration of interest. I'll just read this out and then I think the town partner wants to say something. Declarations of interest, item 2. To receive declarations by members of interest in respect of items on this agenda. Members are reminded that in accordance with Localism Act 2011, they are required to declare any disposable pecuniary interest which have not already been declared in the Council's Register of Interest. It is a criminal offence not to declare a disclosable pecuniary interest either in the register or at the meeting. Whilst not a legal requirement, in accordance with Council Procedure Rule 10, and in the interest of clarity and transparency, members should declare any disposable pecuniary interest which they have already declared in the register. In accordance with Part B, Section 2 of the Code of Conduct, members are required to declare the existence and nature of any other interest as defined in paragraphs 8.92 of the Code of Conduct. So have we any declarations? Councillor Hutton?
Yeah, mine's a non-procurement interest for Morton Car.
Thank you.
I have an interest in Howard's Promenade Council Products whether it is.
Right, thank you.
Item 5, planning development as the City Council planning.
Thank you. Anybody else?
I'm applying for that as the City Council.
You're on planning? Yeah. Anybody else?
I'm no longer on planning, so I can stay now.
Thank you. Right, thank you. Yeah, oh yes, can't you say something?
With regards to interest tonight, or any night, but particularly tonight, I suspect that some of the decisions tonight will be very closely scrutinised. And I just want to quote something from the Code of Conduct, which is talking about interest and when we shouldn't participate. So if the interest is in one in which a member of the public with knowledge of all the relevant facts would reasonably regard as so significant that it is likely to prejudice your judgment of the public interest. So I would urge you all to think about your involvement, if anything, in any of the festivals and events, and bear in mind that sentence there. So if you think that your involvement could be interpreted by one member of the public as being significant and therefore prejudice how you would vote, I would really urge you to declare that interest. I've spoken to the monitoring officer at the City Council about that this week. So he used the example to me, nothing to do with festivals. The example he quoted in an email was about a rugby club. So if somebody was a member of a rugby club, a paid member, and we were discussing a grant to the rugby club or playing fields, they should declare an interest. If they simply went as a spectator to watch the rugby club, that wouldn't be an interest. However, there is a grey area in the middle, depending on your involvement. You might be involved with a rugby club, but not a paid-up member. So you need to think very carefully. If you're not on the organising committee of a festival, in the first instance, that's not an interest. But if you're simply more than somebody who's attending to watch it, I would urge you to really think, how do you think that will be perceived in the public domain? And it's up to the member to declare that. It's not up to me to tell you to do that. I would always advise on the side of caution, and if you think you might have an interest or not sure, to declare it.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Hutton?
Yeah, I think I've got a dotted line declaration of interest is nice and sleazy. So I think dotted line, so I should raise that I'm not part of it, but my husband is, so that might be declared as a
Alright, that's an interest, yes, it would do.
Yeah.
Right, anybody else? Everybody fine with that? Councillor Metcalfe?
This is going to be fun.
You're smooth with me.
Yes, we've all got one.
Does attending a festival as a member of the public, when the short of staff bailing them out for a couple of hours, count?
In my view, I would declare that because how it could be perceived by somebody in the street. I know I'm only on top of the saying that, but that's would be my advice to do that.
Well, in that case, I helped out because there were short of bodies at the 40s weekend.
Along with me.
So the festival could actually carry on and give the actual organisers a break.
That was all we did.
Yeah,
We
okay,
said
thank
the
you.
same to all festival organisers that we would help with.
Any festivals that are stuck, if we're there, we'll help out. Councillor?
Yeah, just a question here. Last year, Councillor Metcalfe from Crozier declared an interest in the promenade music because he was a member of the Labour group. I noticed this. Sorry?
The Labour Party.
Labour Party, sorry. And I wondered if that was still an interest or does that not count? Because there's no declarations this year.
Is that a member of the rugby club scenario or not? In which case none of the Labour group will be able to vote. It's getting a bit ridiculous now.
I'm only asking the question and asking the question because it has been declared before.
So what about people who go to the
Concert.
any concerts or anything?
Yes,
They're paid to go.
You're paying to go, aren't you?
Paid to go, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're subsidising it in a way, aren't you?
We don't have any money out of it.
Well, like the clerk advised, it is up to every member to declare their own interest. If you want to declare an interest on that, you can. Personally, I'm not going to declare an interest on that. Right, okay, so we'll move on. Move on to public. We have to adjourn the meeting at this point. Can we have a proposal to adjourn the meeting? Councillor Jemison, will you have a seconder? To adjourn the meeting, Councillor Burns, thank you. We'll adjourn the meeting for any public participation. Is there any member of the audience that wishes to speak to us tonight? Sir Rogerson, would you like to come forward, please?
Good evening, councillors and chair. Thank you for allowing me to speak on the start of this meeting. I was very kindly invited by the Festivals Committee to do a presentation last week, and I just wanted to further remind those members and also the full council that the Promenade Concert Orchestra is a festival. It just doesn't happen in the summer. We have 4 concerts in the year from November, January, March and May. And that season, that out-of-season festival is clearly for residents of Morecambe, many of the people who attend are LA3, LA4 residents, and there are many visitors come to our concerts as well. We are a chargeable event because the nature of running a professional orchestra means I have to pay my musicians, admittedly not a particularly high rate. They are very grateful for what they receive and are happy to play in the orchestra. Some members, quite a number of them, have been in the orchestra for the last 12 years. We attract award-winning soloists, national soloists. We've had several percussion players in our orchestra who eventually became BBC Young Musicians entrants and are now at conservatoire studying, so we're engaging with youngsters. We engage with Turning Point Theatre Arts in Lancaster. They come and dance every year at our Viennese concert, and they, many of them go on to higher education and into the theatre profession. The funding request I've made is for a shortfall in my projections of the funding that I believe we need to run the orchestra for 2019-2020. We raise a good 90% of our money from local businesses who support us, from sponsorship, from donations from the Friends of the Orchestra, and indeed from ticket sales. Over 12,000 people have been to our concerts over the last 11 years, which I think is quite remarkable, considering Morecambe never had an orchestra. And indeed, this orchestra is the only light orchestra north of Manchester until you fall out into the sea up in the north of Scotland. So I hope in your considerations you will bear those in mind. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, would you like to speak? Yes, can you come forward, please? Would you mind introducing yourself, please?
Of course. Well, thank you, Chair. I'm Lauren Zavansky. I'm one of the partners that deliver Vintage by the Sea Festival. I noticed that you have been given out a copy of a letter which we circulated earlier today, but I wonder if I could take the opportunity to read the letter out to the members. To all present members at Morecambe Town Council, Vintage by the Sea would like to thank you sincerely for 5 years of ongoing support. As a significant funder of Vintage by the Sea, Morecambe Town Council has allowed us to bring £3.5 million of economic impact into Morecambe, entertaining audiences of 180,000 people over the 5 years the event has been publicly funded. 45,000 people attended Vintage by the Sea this year, 26,000 of which were visitors who resided from outside the Lancaster and Morecambe district, with 30% of that figure living outside Lancashire. This is combined with the equal number of audiences members that resided within the district and who show an immense sense of pride of place as a result of the festival, which supports cross-generational entertainment offer for everyone from the young to the old. Only using the survey data provided from visiting audiences, economic impact calculations show that for every £1 invested by Morecambe Town Council alone, £56 is invested back into the Morecambe economy from money generated outside of this district. We have continued to deliver this 2-day festival to Morecambe and its visitors with free daytime entry to all our areas and a programme that allows audiences to experience the content that is at the evening ticketed events for free in the daytime, whether it's a nationally acclaimed band or a dance lesson from evening instructors. They're put for providing something for everyone and making this event inclusive to our local audience. This year the festival gained national recognition by featuring in the Great Exhibition of the North programme, BBC News, Homes and Antiques magazine, the Times newspaper, the Telegraph newspaper and You magazine. In 2018, the festival committed to a week-long placement for a local high school student, a 280-hour placement for a graduate from Lancaster University, and a paid work opportunity for a young adult with additional needs. There are no bed spaces available in a 25-mile radius of the festival site, with the manager of the local Best Western Hotel independently confirming that visitors were staying as far as Barrow and Furness in their sister hotel to be able to attend the festival weekend.
Just 1 minute.
And the festival being the highest taking weekend, seconded by Lancaster University graduation. The festival, in 17 and 18, the festival adapted to reduce funding from Morecambe Town Council. However, the likelihood of further reduction from 16,000 to 14,000 as proposed requires us to review what is achievable in delivering the festival. I'll summarise the last paragraphs. We're writing to Morecambe Town Council to advise that as a result of further reductions, as it currently stands, we'd like to propose an addendum to our programme which we detailed in our application, and we may not be able to deliver the community outreach programme which we've delivered for the last 2 years. This involves going into care homes in the community and delivering festival content to those who couldn't come to the festival. Given that Morecambe Town Council funding is primarily for festival activities, we recognise that this does not fall in the main funding criteria of your funding, and therefore this is the proposed addendum, given that we allocated £2,000 to this activity, and this would be the proposed reduction this year. We'd like to...
Sorry.
Okay, the last paragraph is on your page. Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Right, have any other speakers, please? Okay, thank you very much. We'll reconvene back into the meeting, please. Right, item 4 is Festivals and Events Committee. That's to receive the minutes of the Festival and Events Committee from its meeting held on 1st and 2nd of October. Pages 2 to 5 of supporting papers pack, and to consider recommendations made in respect of the following items. Item A, minute number 11, Festival and Events. So, hotels. Hotels mentioned. Is there an issue? No.
Well, I tell you too.
You try your best.
After 3 days of intensive discussions, the committee came to decisions as laid out in the agenda at pages 2 to 5. As you can see, we have more monetary applications than a budget. We try to be fair to all the applicants and share out the monies fairly. We wish all the festival advisors every success for the 1920 festival season. I would like to put on record, on behalf of the committee, to formally thank for their invaluable advice Mr. Paul Berry and our old town council. Their help and wise words really helped. If there's any questions on the results, I'll try to answer them, or my vice chair can if voice plaques in. And can we move them en bloc, please?
What do you mean if it packs in, yeah?
Right. So I've been informed you can't actually move them, Councillor Metcalfe, because you declared an interest in the Forties Festival. So we'll have to have another seconder.
Can I suggest we do them individually, quickly but individually, because there are people with different interests in different festivals, and it would make more sense because there's a lot of people who couldn't vote for them all on block because they've got an interest in one.
Right, what do the committee think? Do we think we ought to vote en bloc, or do we want to do them separately? Can you please vote for them to be separate? Can you show hands? Can you show, please?
Not one way or the other.
2, 3, 4. And to vote them en bloc? Right. So we have to vote separately then, that's the way of it. So we'll take the first and...
Can I just ask a question?
Right, sorry, Councillor Pastor.
Is there any chance I could, is it too early to request a
No,
recorded vote?
Yeah.
On each one?
On each one, right.
Yeah.
Do we want to record a vote on each one? Can we have 2 members stand up? On each one? Yeah, we've got 2 members, yeah, can we do that? That's fine. Councillor Brown?
Yeah, I've got a question here. This letter that's just been put on the desk states,
Sorry?
this letter from Vintage has been put on in front of us,
Yes.
which I did realise how closely Lancaster City Council, and as a Lancaster City Council member, should I even be voting on that? Yeah.
Interesting council.
Interesting point, there's something. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, so we as city members, we should be voting on that. This is
That's interesting. I mean, yes, it's
well, in that case, city council members have to declare interest on that, so that would be me.
Me?
Yeah? So we'll have to leave the room when that was voted for then.
What's the point of having a festivals committee or
Well, this is a dilemma that we have on this town council. Right, okay. So we take the first one.
But they've put it on there, and it's been there, but you can't argue with one.
Right, come on please. Right, their fest and Christmas on the Crescent. The amount awarded to them is £2,000. Anybody want to speak for or against? Or are we okay? Is that all going through? Go to the vote.
Recorded vote.
Recorded vote, yes.
So half of us are going to be missing.
you, Chairman. So we're taking a vote on whether the Bear Festival is awarded £2,000 or not. So, Councillor Anderson, if you say for, that means you're for the £2,000 against it.
Yes.
Councillor Anderson, for. Councillor June Ashworth,
For.
Councillor Brown,
For.
Councillor Burns,
For.
Councillor Cleet,
For.
Councillor Cliff,
For.
Councillor Cosler,
For.
Councillor Roger Dennison,
For.
Councillor Janice Hanson,
For.
Councillor John Hanson,
For.
Councillor Heath,
For.
Councillor Hudson,
She's out. Well, she could come in actually. Cause
Yes, shall I
yeah,
get
okay.
it?
Sorry about that. I'll just get
No, it's
council.
it's fair then.
Because we're taking the steps.
Here, one at a time.
Shouldn't have sent Terry.
No. Croak to me.
It's just nearest the door.
Yeah, in and out.
Yeah. Right, Councillor Putnam, sorry about that, but the vote is taken to take them all separately.
Okay.
And we're taking a recorded vote on every one.
Okay.
So I've just got to your name to say whether you're for or against.
And then
We're
we
there first.
I realised wasn't it?
Yeah.
For.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Councillor Metcalfe,
Yes.
Councillor Page,
For.
Councillor Pattison,
For.
Councillor Pilling,
For.
Councillor Whittaker.
For.
That was carried unanimously for the Bear Festival.
Right, thank you for that, everybody. The next one is Catch the Wind, which have been awarded £4,000. The same again applies. Anybody want to speak for or against, or go straight to the vote? Straight to the vote. Right, so recorded vote again.
Okay, Councillor Anderson. For. Councillor June Ashworth.
For.
Councillor Brown.
For.
Councillor Burns.
For.
Councillor Cleet.
For.
Councillor Cliff.
For.
Councillor Cosler.
For.
Councillor Roger Dennison.
For.
Councillor Janice Hanson.
For.
Councillor John Hanson.
For.
Councillor Heath.
For.
Councillor Hudson.
For.
Councillor Metcalfe. Councillor Page.
For.
Councillor Pattison.
For.
Councillor Pilling.
For.
Councillor Whittaker.
For.
That's carried unanimously.
Right, thank you. Next one, Make My Day. That's been awarded £3,250. Same procedure again. Anybody want to speak for or against?
What is it?
We've done all our talking at the committee.
Okay, straight to the vote. There'll be another recorded vote, please.
Councillor Anderson. For. Councillor June Ashworth.
For.
Councillor Brown.
For.
Councillor Burns.
For.
Councillor Cleet.
For.
Councillor Cliff.
For.
Councillor Cosler.
For.
Councillor Roger Dennison.
Abstain.
Councillor Janice Hanson.
For.
Councillor John Hanson.
For.
Councillor Heath.
For.
Councillor Hudson.
For.
Councillor Metcalfe.
For.
Councillor Page.
Abstain.
Councillor Pattison.
For.
Councillor Pilling.
For.
Councillor Whittaker.
For.
So that is carried with 15 voting for, none against and 2 abstentions.
Right, thank you. Morecambe 1940s revival.
Do you want us to leave the room or can we stay here?
You can stay here but not vote. It's £4,000 awarded to them. So the same again. Anybody wants to speak for or against, or move straight to the vote? Recorded vote again, please, Clark.
Okay, Councillor Anderson. For. Councillor June Ashworth.
For.
Councillor Brown.
For.
Councillor Burns.
For.
Councillor Cleet.
For.
Councillor Cliff.
For.
Councillor Janice Hanson.
For.
Councillor John Hanson.
For.
Councillor Heath.
For.
Councillor Roger Dennison.
For.
Councillor Hudson.
For.
Councillor Pattison.
For.
Councillor Page.
For.
Councillor Pilling.
For.
Councillor Whittaker.
For.
So that's carried unanimously. The members who voted, 15 voted, 2 declared an interest.
Thank you. Next is Morecambe Carnival.
Bye.
Declaring interest.
Debbie, you can just stay here and not vote?
Oh, yeah.
We'll stay here.
Yes, Councillor Heath.
I'll be voting against this on the basis that council's terms and conditions were not complied with the last time they received a £10,000 grant. The auditor said the accounts were inadequate and incomplete with no supporting invoices or receipts given. Yet Labour councillors still signed away £10,000 of public money to them. As far as I'm aware, the police are still investigating. It would be therefore, I feel, improper of the council to give further public money away to the same people.
Right, thank you. Right.
Can I do that, Commissioner? I don't understand that. That's something against
You can ask the
Labour.
question.
I don't understand that. Something about...
So Labour gave them £10,000.
No, Morecambe Town Council gave them £10,000, not Labour. If you lot didn't vote, that's up to you. We didn't do it on behalf of Labour, we did it on behalf of Morecambe Town Council.
Okay.
So am I missing something?
Right, let's go to the vote again. Another recorded vote. Can we please, anybody want to say anything else about that before we go to the vote? No?
Yeah, I would.
Yes?
I'd like to say I'm just voting on the fact it's a fantastic event within our town and it's very much well supported, and I think we should be seen as supporting it. Nothing to do with politics in this, I'm afraid.
No, it's to do with the accounts.
Okay, thank you. Right, anybody else wants to speak about the carnival?
Excuse me, I'm not happy with that. If what's on about the accounts, I don't understand, I need it explained to me. And I'm not going to vote for something and I don't understand what I'm voting for.
You're voting to give £7,000 to Morecambe Carnival.
Yeah, but answer to
Well, I mean,
question.
Council Heath said there's a police investigation ongoing about some accounts or other. Now, we have not been informed of any of that. None of us have been investigated by the police. None of us have been asked any questions by the police. And as far as I'm aware, there is no case to answer. So, for anybody that's listening, we have nothing to answer on the Labour group, so we can go ahead and vote which way we like on this. That's been told to us by the police if there was an investigation. Yes, please say something.
As everybody knows in the room, a complaint wasn't made to Lancashire Constabulary about 19 months ago. So the police have spoken to me about that in April 2017. Since that date, I've heard nothing from the police. So in terms of what Councillor Heath says, you could say that investigation is still ongoing.
But we don't know who's been investigated or why, because none of us have been questioned at all. Right, so we'll vote now on Morecambe Carnival. Another recorded vote. Okay?
Councillor Anderson.
Abstain.
Councillor June Ashworth.
Abstain.
Councillor Brown.
Or
Councillor Burns.
Against.
Councillor Fleet.
Abstain.
Councillor Clift.
For.
Councillor Coslet. Councillor Roger Davison.
Against.
Councillor Janice Hanson.
For.
Councillor John Hanson.
For. You go against me doing like that.
Councillor Heath.
Against.
Councillor Hilton declaring interest. Councillor Metcalfe.
For.
Page.
For.
Councillor Pattison.
For.
Councillor Pilling.
Abstain.
Councillor Whittaker.
For.
So 9 members voted for, 3 against, and 4 abstained, and 1 person declared an interest.
So that's carried then?
Yeah.
Yep, okay, thank you. Move on to the next one, which is Morecambe Pride. That's been awarded £7,000. Anyone want to speak for or against this?
go straight to the vote.
Yes, Councillor Metcalfe.
I want to speak in favour of Morecambe Pride. I know it goes against the grain with a lot of people, but you wouldn't believe how much homophobic action there is in this town. I know a member of this council who had a personal friend beaten senseless purely because he was gay. It's about time we put a stop to this and show the town that we do support LGBT. And apart from the fact, if it's anything like Lancaster's, it'll be a flaming good event. And I hate to say it, but the Pink Pound is very strong. I will be voting in favour.
Thank you, Councillor Metcalfe. Anybody else wish to say anything? No? Right, can we go to the vote, please, on Walking Pride, £7,000?
Okay, Councillor Anderson.
Against.
Councillor June Ashworth.
Abstain.
Councillor Brown.
For.
Councillor Burns.
Against.
Councillor Cleat.
Against.
Councillor Cliff.
For.
Councillor Cosler.
For.
Councillor Roger Dennison.
For.
Councillor Janice Hanson.
For.
Councillor John Hanson.
For.
Councillor Heath.
Abstain.
Councillor Hutton.
For.
Councillor Metcalfe.
100% for.
Councillor Page.
For.
Councillor Patterson. For. Councillor Pilling.
For.
Councillor Whittaker.
Certainly for.
12 members voted for, 3 against and 2 abstained.
Carried then, thank you. Next one is Morecambe Vintage Bus Day, 2019. They awarded £1,500. Anybody wish to speak on for or against? No, straight to the vote. Right, another recorded vote.
Councillor Anderson.
For.
Councillor June Ashworth.
For.
Councillor Brown.
For.
Councillor Burns.
For.
Councillor Cleat.
For.
Councillor Clift.
For.
Councillor Cosler.
For.
Councillor Roger Dennison.
For.
Councillor Janice Hanson.
For.
Councillor John Hanson.
For.
Councillor Heath.
For.
Councillor Hutton.
For.
Councillor Metcalfe.
For.
Councillor Page.
For.
Councillor Patterson.
For.
Councillor Pilling.
For.
Councillor Whittaker.
For.
That's carried unanimously.
Thank you. Next one is Nice and Sleazy, £2,750. Anyone again want to speak for or against?
Is that the front thing? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, Councillor Metcalfe, please.
Thank you.
We can give them one if we had it. I'm fully aware of the fact that the pub festival is a niche market, but it does bring people into town, and to be fair to the organisers, the presentation we got, it's not just the Trimple, the spreading into the local pubs, and Mr Harrison did say that hopefully, not next year's, the 2021 one, he will have retained sustainability. Not to give them any money, so he can't do it, seems an absolute shame to me.
Right, thank you, Councillor Metcalfe. Anyone else wish to add anything? No. Go to the vote then. Park, number 44.
Nice and Sleazy. Councillor Anderson.
For.
Councillor June Ashworth.
For.
Councillor Brown.
For.
Councillor Burns.
For.
Councillor Cleat.
For.
Councillor Cliff.
For.
Councillor Cosler.
For.
Councillor Roger Dennison.
After 14 years, no against.
Councillor Janice Hanson.
For.
Councillor John Hanson.
For.
Councillor Heath.
For.
Councillor Hutton.
For.
Councillor Metcalfe.
For.
Councillor Page.
For.
Councillor Patterson.
For.
Councillor Pilling.
For.
Councillor Whittaker.
For.
For.
That's carried by 16 votes to 1.
And you shouldn't have asked me.
Sorry?
You shouldn't have asked me. I'm not
You
voting.
shouldn't have asked Councillor Buttons.
Let's carry on with it all.
Right, still carried.
15 to what, Mr. Clark?
Sorry?
15 to what?
15 awarded £1,100. Anyone want to speak for or against? Or should we go straight to the vote? Straight to the vote then, Clark, again please.
Thank you. Councillor Anderson? 4. Councillor June Ashworth?
4.
Councillor Brown?
4.
Councillor Burns?
4.
Councillor Clayton, interest I think. Councillor Cliff? 4. Councillor Cosler?
4.
Councillor Roger Dennison?
Abstain.
Councillor Janice Hanson?
4.
Councillor John Hanson?
4.
Councillor Heath?
4.
Councillor Hutton?
4.
Councillor Metcalfe?
4.
Councillor Page?
4.
Councillor Patterson?
4.
Councillor Pilling?
4.
Councillor Whittaker?
4.
That's carried by 15 votes for, none against, and 1 abstention and 1 interest.
Right, thank you. Next one, Vintage by the Sea. Awarded £14,000. So anyone wish to speak for or against? Or do you want to go straight to the vote? Councillor Byrne? Oh yes, and all the city councillors are declaring an interest, so we cannot vote. Remember that.
I think you're going to be in quorum, Chairman.
Right. Can you please put your hands up who's on the city council? So we have continued.
So those left are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Actually, just be quorum. 9's a quorum.
Oh, right, that's good. Right. So that's good. So we are quorum, so we can vote, or they can vote. So we're voting on Vintage by the Sea, and only those that are eligible can vote, please. Okay, Clark again. Sorry, Councillor Gillen.
Yeah, could I just make a
Yeah.
statement? I was on the committee, but I couldn't go to it, the decision there. But I was quite happy with the outcome of practically all of them, you know. But I've been convinced by the letter and the presentation that these people have given that for the sake of an extra £2,000 it would have a considerable difference to the festival. I think it's for every pound that we give them, we get £56 back as a town. It's probably the biggest flagship event that showcases Morecambe to the wider country, which is what we have on this night. Look at the figures, we've got £1,900 one spent on £53,000 budget, and I would be minded to present them with that extra money as well. I don't know if we can propose that.
Yes, you have to make a proposal, Councillor Billing, and then you have to see if you can get it seconded or if anybody wishes to speak.
Yeah, well, I'd like, if there is a second, I'd like to propose that we
Mr. Chairman, point of information, we haven't got 2,000 left in the budget.
No, it's what you want to do with the remaining amount of money we've got left, which is about 1,900. So, Councillor Pilling's proposal is that we give, in view of the letter that, in view of the letter that has been circulated by Vintage by the Sea, Councillor Pilling feels that we ought to give the money left in our account to fill that gap. He's proposed it. Hang on a minute. He's proposed it. It's been seconded by Councillor Page, Councillor Burns. So, if you want to debate that, you have to debate it. Go into debate. Those that have cleared an interest cannot enter into debate. So therefore, that means City Council can't talk about it. So, Councillor Flynn, you've made your debate. Anybody else wish to speak in the debate? Councillor Dennison.
Thank you, Chair. I think we've got to say that the members of the committee put a great deal of time and effort and went through at great length everything. And I am uncomfortable with people putting in variations at this time, given the efforts that people have made, because I actually think the possibility that will happen is everybody else will come back and say, well, why couldn't we have a bit extra? So I would recommend and I will be voting, with the greatest respect, I will be voting against. Thank you.
Well said.
Thank you, Councillor Hutton, please.
More or less.
I actually agree with Roger Dennison. I think the committee that have looked at festivals and spent 3 days really considering all the information they were given have done a brilliant, fair job at making all the percentage reductions, I think, very reasonable for everybody, so everybody got something. So I think they've done a brilliant job, and I would vote against that proposal.
Yeah, thank you, Councillor Hutton. Anyone again? Councillor Burns?
Oh, I'm sorry, I think the opposite way, because I think we have. Why are we here if we can't make any decisions and change things if we think it's better? And this is one of the biggest festivals we have. And I think it's amazing that you don't want to help them, to make people come from all over to see this, and surely it's worthwhile. If you care for Morecambe, I'm sure you will all of this extra money.
Right, thank you, Councillor Burns. Councillor Page?
That's why I would like to back Shirley in this session. I agree entirely that this is one of the biggest festivals we have. It
Can you
is,
speak up a bit, Councillor Page? I can't quite hear you.
it is a flagship festival, and I think we should support it as much as we possibly can. And if there is something in the budget, I don't know why we're holding it back, but I think it should go to, because you can see what they're doing.
Yes, Councillor Monson?
Seems to me a £14 isn't bad. There's some people getting nothing and they want another £2,000. And like some people are getting nothing. They've been refused it. I think that's enough. I mean, like Debbie said, we've spent 3 days on this, going into every little detail, and they've come up with this figure, and I'm backing these.
Okay, thank you.
Can I
Councillor come in a minute. Councillor
I absolutely agree with you. I think it's a fantastic event. They are getting 27% of the budget, which I think is phenomenal compared to others that have asked. So I think we've treated everybody very fairly with what I can see from the figures. So I don't I don't disagree about the event. I just think the monies have been fairly allocated to everybody with a fair reduction. And it's a very similar reduction to some of the others that put in for their bids. Some are only getting probably 2 or 3% of what they've actually requested. So 27% of the total budget, I think, is huge for them. So that's me.
Councillor Burns, you want to say?
It's just to say, I think this money is now over, and therefore I think we should reconsider it, because it's one of the best. It's so many people come here, which brings trade to all the shops and to the town. It livens it up, and the local people as well enjoy it. And the work that must go into it. I know everybody works for all the events, but yes, the publicity, it's well publicised, and it's such a big event. I really think perhaps just this once and see how it goes from there. But seeing this money is there, surely don't let's leave it in the pot. Let's let it do some good work. Thank you.
Right, thank you. Do you want to sum up, Councillor Burns, and then we'll go to the vote?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody's views on board, and you know, I'm on the committee, I didn't work there this year. I do know that the effort goes on, you know, it's all done, you know, there's good discussion, I totally agree, and I was not going to dispute the £14,000. But when I read this, you know, when I listen to the importance of this festival is massive. And I'm reading it right, if there is a shortfall of what they're asking for, it will get people not going to be able to attend the festival. It's like an outreach service to people who can't actually go there. They will go to them as a care home and people like that. But they will miss it, so that would be a real pity. And we've got the money.
Okay, right. Okay then, thank you, Councillor Payne. Right, we'll go to the vote on Councillor Payne's amendment, and can I please have a show of hands who agree? I'm recording that one as well. The amendment. Okay. We'll record the vote for the amendment.
So the amendment is to increase the vintage grant offer by £1,900 to £15,900. So only the non-city council members can vote. So Councillor Anderson?
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Councillor Cleat,
Yes.
Councillor Roger Dennison,
Abstain.
Councillor John Hanson,
Abstain.
Councillor Heath,
Yes.
Councillor Hudson,
Abstain.
Councillor Page,
Yes.
Councillor Pilling.
4.
So that will be carried, 6 voted for, none against, and 3 abstained. So the amendment will be carried.
Right, the amendment's carried, so that will be that the vintage fancy now gets 15,900. Is that correct? Yeah. Okay. All right, thank you very much. We shall move on. West End Festival is been awarded 2,500. Anyone wish to speak for or against? Should we can we go straight to the vote then? Another recorded vote.
Okay, Councillor Anderson.
Yes.
Councillor June Ashworth.
Oh,
Yes.
Councillor Brown. Councillor Burns. Councillor Cleat. Councillor Cliff. Councillor Coslett. Councillor Roger Dennison.
Abstain.
Councillor Janice Hanson. Councillor John Hanson.
4.
Councillor Heath. Councillor Hudson. Councillor Metcalfe. Councillor Page. Councillor Patterson. Councillor Pilling.
4.
Councillor Whittaker.
4.
That's carried by 16 votes for, none against and 1 abstention.
Right, thank you. And last one. Sorry?
The last one.
Last but not least, West End Lantern Festival, which has been awarded £2,000. Anyone want to speak for or against? So we'll go straight to the vote. Right, another recorded vote.
Councillor Anderson.
Yes.
Councillor June Ashworth. Councillor Brown. Councillor Burns. Councillor Cleat. Councillor Cliff. Councillor Coslett. Councillor Roger Dennison.
Abstain.
Councillor Janice Hanson.
4.
Councillor John Hanson.
4.
Councillor Heath. Councillor Hudson. Councillor Metcalfe. Councillor Page. Councillor Patterson. Councillor Pilling.
4.
Councillor Whittaker.
4.
Carried chairman by 16 votes for, none against and 1 abstention.
Right. Thank you very much. So is everybody clear what we voted for? And so that's all our money spent.
Exactly.
Yeah, and which means if anybody else doesn't like what they've got, they can come and ask for more.
Okay.
No,
Right.
kind of way.
We'll move on. So,
What about a part-2?
sorry?
Second recommendation.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, second recommendation, sorry. The second recommendation is that the request that the Festivals and Events Committee is to undertake a thorough review of the festivals and events funding criteria. Councillor Coslett.
I was going to propose it, well, seconded. Jerry's going to propose it.
Yeah, I'll move it, and the reason we want to do this is how can you compare a proper community event like any of the West End festivals or Bearfest with a professional company? So we want to have different categories, like proper communities. You can't compare the two. The community events haven't got the professional backing behind them. Obviously they haven't got a team of people looking into it for them, whereas certain events have got 3-4 people on the organising committee, and they probably work, so they haven't got time to do all the investigations, which is why we want to split it into community and festivals events. And I move it.
Yes, possible.
I second that because it's really difficult to judge festivals against completely different criteria, and I think it would be fairer to judge like against like. So I second Councillor Metcalfe's recommendation.
Right, that's been proposed and seconded, and of course it'll be up to the committee to talk it through, speak it through. So, but anyone else wish to speak on that? No? Can we go to the vote, please, whether we want the Festivals and Events Committee to undertake a thorough review of the festivals and events funding criteria? Councillor Dennis, are you voting?
No.
Abstaining?
No, yes.
Against?
No.
Right, okay. Okay. Yeah, right, okay then, thank you very much for that. Right, we move on now to item, which is the Planning and Development and Environment Committee meeting. And we'll ask Councillor Whittaker, please, if you please present this report.
Thank you, yes. We had a meeting on Monday the 1st of October. And it was a very good meeting actually, because we had the public in attendance, quite a number of members of the public in attendance, with some concerns which are understandable, and it's regard to bullet point 25, and it's the proposed development of land off Forward Drive, Morecambe. And what's happened is representatives of Smith and Love Planning Committee consultants gave a short presentation outlining initial proposals, and they're only initial proposals, early days yet, of a potential development of land on Forward Drive, Morecambe, which was owned by Oakmere Homes. However, the problem is the land in question is not within the Morecambe Town Council boundary, but any subsequent planning application and subsequent development would affect and have an impact on residents within the Town Council area who live on Forward Drive. And a number of residents did raise some very legitimate concerns to the committee, and we've taken them on board, and actually the consultants who came and did present presentation took those concerns on board. This is very early days at the moment, and the land is still within on Greenbelt land, which in Greenbelt, any planning would be forbidden. However, the City Council's local plan, which would be subject to inspection in early 2019, was proposing that the land be redesignated as a brownfield site. So this is an issue that we would have to take on board as a Town Council. But unfortunately, it's not within our boundaries, so what we're having to do is have a dialogue with Hest Town Council, Parish Council, to get the ball rolling. It's very early days, so we shouldn't be getting alarmist, but we are taking this issue on board, and it will be a big piece of work for ourselves and also the residents as well. So what the council resolved to do after hearing the residents was we thank the consultants for attending the meeting and bringing this matter to our attention. Request that the clerk to arrange an early meeting with representative of Slimewith Hest Parish Council, because the land in question falls within that area, to ascertain their views on the proposals and how they propose to deal with any forthcoming proposals emerging from Slime neighbourhood plan. Request that the clerk discuss with the City Council and Slimewith Hess whether this area of land could be included within the Morecambe neighbourhood plan area, and request that the clerk ensure that the residents who attended the meeting are kept up to date with any further developments regarding this matter. So hopefully you accept those recommendations. It's early days yet, nothing's been decided, but we do need to be aware and be mindful of what's not being proposed. So hope you just vote for those recommendations. And anyone who's on the City Council Planning Committee will need to, I think they've left, but it might be something that comes up before planning, but it might not be for another couple of years yet anyway.
Right, thank you, Councillor Whittaker. Can we have a seconder for those recommendations on page 7, please? Councillor Page, Councillor Dennison, okay? So can we go to the vote to accept those recommendations? Yeah? Yes? Yeah, clear. Right, Councillor Whittaker,
I go on to page number 8, and we did discuss a number of planning applications that are noted down. Nothing too controversial, nothing too concerned. We did make 1 or 2 observations and concerns which we'll forward on to the planning, so I hope you do accept those recommendations. But I do also want to move on to page 9, and bullet point 27 is Morecambe in Bloom. I just want to put on record my thanks to the clerk and all the people who helped out on that evening, particularly the clerk, who's done a lot of hard work into that, and all to make the evening a success. It was a success. It was a very pleasant evening. Everyone had a good time. There was good food, and big congratulations to everyone who received an award on that evening. Members of the community who have a love for gardening, have a love for the town, put a lot of effort in, and their efforts were recognised. Let's hope next time we have more people taking part, but more so, I'd like to see more young people taking part, more schools taking part next year. That's something that we need to work on for next year. Thank you. And also, the council is going to recommend that we purchase 5 tickets for the National North West in Bloom presentation evening, with the winners of the amateur garden and business competitions in Morecambe in Bloom being invited to attend the presentation ceremony with the town clerk. I hope you do vote to accept that, and also let's keep our fingers crossed we get a good award on that evening as well as a town, because we've worked very hard this year, particularly Morecambe Bloomers, in making the town nice. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Councillor Whittaker. We've got a second.
Chair, and can I second the congratulations to the clerk? He worked exceptionally hard on that night, and he was instrumental in making it the great success it was. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Councillor Wilson. Yes, it was a very, very good evening, and for those of us that were there, it was it was good. Didn't win any raffle prizes, but there you are. There we go. We should put our record out thanks to the clerk, because we really did work tremendously hard. Still waiting for our assistant town clerk. So, you know, yeah, we need to vote on that when they told us.
Yeah.
Everybody in favour? Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. So that's the end of the meeting. The date of next meeting is Thursday, the 15th of November, here at 7 o'clock.